All right, today we're going over 3.3, which is slope. So we'll do 4 problems together, and then you have 4 problems to do on your own today. So the graph shows the distance a car travels as a function of time it travels. So x-axis is the time in hours that it's traveling, and the y-axis is the distance in miles that the car is going. Use the first 2 points on the graph to find this ratio. Increase in distance over increase in time, and then we'll repeat it for the second and fourth points on the graph, simplify the ratios, and then what do you notice? Okay, so from the first to the second point, we go over 1 hour. So from 1 hour to 2 hours, we go over 1 hour, and we go up 60, oh, that shouldn't say minutes, that should say miles. We go up 60 miles. And then if I was going to repeat that for the second and the fourth point, I'm going over 2 hours and I'm going up 120 miles, not minutes. So make that change on your answers. And then we want to simplify those ratios, and what do you notice? Okay, so we have increase in distance. So we have 60 miles over increase in time. So 60 miles over 1 hour. And I could also simplify that, the blue part, I could also simplify that ratio as well. So for this one, both pairs of points, the ratio is 60 miles per 1 hour. B, because there's a constant rate of change of distance to time, the points fall in a line. For the car, what does this rate of change represent? Okay, well, this change represents speed, which is 60 miles per hour, which is how fast the car is going. And then explain why the triangles shown on the graph are similar. Okay, why are they similar? It's because their sides are proportional. So one triangle, this pink triangle, okay, is half the size of this blue triangle. They're proportional. All right. Slope, numeric measure of steepness of a line. We can compute the ratio of the rise to its run. So usually we use the symbol m, and it can be written as a fraction, decimal, or a percent. So m equals rise, going up and down, over run, which is going from left to right. You can read through the example if you want to. The next question we're going to skip number 2, and we're going to go on to number 3. If you need an example of how to find slope, they have tons of examples here. I'm not going to go through them because my hope is that you already know how to find slope, and I don't want to waste your time. But if you need to, they're there for you. So for each pair of points, find the slope of the line that passes through them by using the slope formula. Draw a sketch of the points and the line connecting them to help you make sense of the slope. Okay? I actually didn't solve using the slope formula. I just calculated rise over run, going up and down. So I graphed my 2 points, and then I calculated rise over run. Okay, so to get from one point to the other, I went up 3 units, and then I went to the right 5 units. So up 3, right 5 correlates to a slope of 3 over 5. If you want to use the slope formula, more power to you. You can plug them in. Your example and your formula are right here. You can read through the example. But they gave me a graph, so I'm just going to use the graph. Okay, then for B, same thing. I graphed my 2 points. I calculated how far I have to go up or down. I went down 10 units, and then I went to the right 6 units. And down 10 correlates to a negative 10, and right 6 is positive 6. So my slope is negative 10 over 6, and I can reduce that to negative 5/3. Okay, for the next 2, I'm not going to go through them with you. I want you to actually show your work. But the slope on C is going to be 0, and the slope on D is going to be undefined. I want you to just draw those 2 points and calculate like I did. Okay, slope And the line, so if a slope is positive, the line is going to be increasing. If the slope is negative, the line is going to be decreasing. If the slope is 0, the line is horizontal, and if the slope is undefined, then the line is going to be vertical. They have a little picture for you in case you want to see that. We can also look at them in these triangles. This is talking about pitches on a roof, so how steep a roof is. I'm not actually going to go through that. We're going to skip number 4 and go on to number 5. So number 5, a hairstylist is analyzing her profits, which were uneven when she began her business. In the 3rd year, her profit was $54,000. Then her business began to stabilize, and each year after, her profit increased by the same amount each year. Currently, she's in her 8th year and has $61,000 in profits. What was her rate of annual profit? At what rate is her annual profit increasing? Whew. Okay, so we're trying to figure out salary per year. So salary per year is salary over year. So I'm going to take her salaries and her years and divide them, okay? So salaries, I just had $54,000 minus $61,000, and then that $54,000 correlated to her 3rd year, and the $61,000 correlated to her 8th year. If you wanted to flip that, you totally can. It's not going to make any difference when you finally plug it into the calculator, and her profit increases by $3,200 each year. We can also find slope in tables by calculating the change of the x's and the changes in the y's. So from one y value to the next, from one x value to the next. We can also figure out if they're linear, exponential, or neither based on that based on that rate of change, which I don't think we're going over today. It comes up, I believe, in this unit, but it'll come up eventually. Okay, so anyway, for each set of points, determine if the data is linear without drawing a graph. If the data is linear, give the rate of change. Okay, so I'll do one, and then I want you to do the other on your own. So I calculated the increase or decrease of the x values from one x value to the next. They are increasing by 15.8 each and every time, so that is constant. And then I'll do the same thing for the y values, from -11 to -7.6 to -4.2 to -1. What was my increase? Plus 3.4, plus 3.4, plus 3.2. So this means that it is not a linear function because of this 3.2 makes it not a consistent rate of change. So I want you to do B on your own. It is a linear function, but I want you to actually show the work to solve that one, and then go ahead and start your homework.